What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we will be talking about the new user interface in Pokemon Go, specifically talking about the appraisal system. I have to say that the upgrade for this is easily miles ahead of what we are used to seeing in the past, where we just have like a mile long of text. We've had to use third-party apps, for example, to get down to the exact IVs if we possibly can. And with this new user interface, it's going to make it so much easier to be able to do so. We'll be talking about some of the benefits, of course, as well as why you still might want to hold on to PokeGenie or Calci IV, for example, if you are using those. But before we get into that, I want to go ahead and point out a minor update as a quality of life, is that now what you're going to see is the power up button is still remaining where it was. But if you've ever seen the new attack button, it used to be just right below it, right? And I can't tell you how many people accidentally ended up clicking it when they were like trying to do a power up or, you know, do something like that. They ended up clicking the new attack button. Well, they have listened to us and they have moved the attack button away from the power up button. So it's going to be much more difficult to be able to accidentally do a power up or unlocking a new move by accident. I can't tell you how many people have contacted me and said that they have accidentally unlocked moves on expensive Pokemon like 75k Stardust, something like that. So yeah, definitely count our blessings on that one. Definitely a good upgrade. So let's go ahead and take a look at this new appraisal system. We're going to be using the graphic on the top right as a good example, just because it's a nice close-up to be able to showcase exactly what is going on. So first things first, it is now in a bar format, and if you know this already, it's going to be a total of 15 stats, and because we have 2 natural breaks, what that means is every bar is going to represent 5 stats. So if you end up being able to fill up the entire bar like we can on this defense, what that means is you've got 3 sets of 5 totaling up to 15 stats on the defense. And just as an added bonus, it does end up turning a different color. It turns red whenever you have a fully maxed out stat. So for example, when we're talking about these other ones, the HP looks to be a 14 in this case, while the attack stat looks to be maybe an 11 or 12-ish, somewhere around in there. Of course, we will get better at that over time. And even better, if you already have your Pokemon on PokeGenie where you have the exact stats, you can really dive in here and get down to the exact nitty-gritty of it. Then we also have this kind of star system going on. And I think what that means is it will either be 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, or maybe you end up with one that is a 0-star. That's going to kind of correlate to the 4 different rankings that we already have in Pokemon Go. Like you've got the lowest of the lowest tier, the second lowest, third lowest, and then the highest will be the fully maxed out 3 stars. And I have another example up here. We've got Tyranitar on the screen, of course, with a 15 in attack. There you go. And then for the defense, it's either a 12 or a 13. Looks like a 13 because it is dead center to it. So for example, this would be a 15, 13, 15, which would be a 96% IVs. If we were to appraise that, that's what it would have been during the old system, especially if we end up using Pokebattler or Calci IV. Moving on to another example, I wanted to go ahead and showcase a perfectly maxed out Pokemon. We've got 2 things going on with this. First is that it will change to a different color. It will be red whenever it is fully maxed out on all of the stats. So as you can see in this case, we do have that 100% IV Mewtwo. And as you can see, we've got the red on attack, defense, HP. And then of course we have the stamp to prove. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for that just to validate all of my different stats. I've already renamed a lot of my Pokemon anyway, so I already know them, but moving forward, this will be super easy and something that we don't necessarily have to use PokeGenie for. Now, I want to go ahead and kind of showcase one more thing. We're going to back this up. One other thing that we have is going to be related to this these icons on the side. Now you no longer have to re-go through all of the different screens to appraise your Pokemon. You simply get to this appraisal screen, and I've got it showing up on the screen right now. So you get to this appraisal screen, and you simply click over and go over to the next Pokemon, and it will automatically leave everything there so you can appraise multiple Pokemon very quickly. You can just get a brief look through. Just imagine this on a community day. This is going to be huge. Go ahead and focus on your community day. For example, we've got like Mudkip, right? Pull up your Mudkip, go ahead and cycle through all of your Mudkips. You can go ahead and take a quick glance at it. And if you see any of the red stamps, you're going to know that you need to hold it off to the side because it will end up being a 100% IV. Go ahead and let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. Do you like it? Is there something that you wish would be improved? It's still not going to answer everything for us though. I do think Pokegenie will still hold some value. For example, knowing what the CP will be once you get a post-evolution Pokemon. Let's say, for example, you have yourself a Nosepass and you want to go ahead and evolve it up to a Probopass. You don't know what the CP is going to be, so Pokegenie will still be good from that regard until Pokemon Go decides to do that. But who knows how long that is going to be since we did get the update. But anyways, I want to know exactly anything and everything that you think about it in the comments section below, and I will see you next time. This is where we give a huge shout out to the patrons on Patreon. As many of you may not know, as far as YouTube content creators are concerned with smaller channels, you don't make that much money, although there is a lot of hard work that goes into it. So support on Patreon is very important to smaller creators, and I want to say thank you so much for everyone who has chosen to be a part of it.